Welcome to one of the most divisive Zelda games to have ever come out. Everywhere you go on the internet, you either see people praising this game or criticizing it for pretty much for every aspect, both praising and criticizing. This is Legend of Zelda, the Skyward Sword. Or I think it's just Skyward. I don't think there's a D in the Skyward Sword. I think it's just Skyward Sword. That is my mistake. My bad. Anyways, this is a Let's Play. And with that rude awakening, we got a letter from Zelda. Let's see what it says. Hey, sleepyhead. I know how much you like to sleep in, so I'm guessing this letter will be your alarm clock this morning. Did I guess right? Rise and shine, Link. Today's the wing ceremony. You promised to meet me before it starts, remember? You better not keep me waiting, Zelda. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there for a second. Anyway, as I was saying before I was cut off, because I wanted you guys to listen to at least a bit of the opening without me talking, this is a Let's Play of Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. And I hope that if you like this game, you will find something new and interesting about it. And if you were on the edge about this game or don't like it, I hope this Let's Play will change your mind a little and show you the positive aspects of this game. Yes, this game has its faults, and I won't deny that. But it also has its quirks. It's one of my personal favorite Zelda games. So why don't we start by talking to one of the NPCs here. Morning, Link! So today's the wing ceremony. Are you ready? All I'm saying is everyone else is out practicing at the plaza, but you seem pretty relaxed about the whole thing. Of course, that Crimson Loftwing of yours is something special. I feel pretty confident riding him too. Not gonna say anything. My bird won the last ceremony, but even I don't think he could beat that Red Terror of yours. Of course, a bird's true speed in a race always comes down to the skill of the rider. Again, not gonna say anything. I'm something of a bird researcher around here, so you know, if you ever find yourself in need of some bird expertise, come see old Pippet. Alright, so Pippet told us that if we ever need help, just with our bird, we should go see him, so let's keep that in mind. Why don't we talk to this guy here? Good morning, Link. Today's a big wing ceremony, right? I wanted to fly too, but I didn't make the cut, so I'm stuck back here at the academy. Plus, I've got to move these barrels over to the kitchen. I was hoping to at least be able to cheer you on, Link, but I guess that's the way it goes. Go out there and wow them, buddy. Well, why don't we be a good citizen and help them as soon as we break a pot? Also, I believe if you throw a pot at him... Yep, he freaks out. So we lift this barrel for him, and he goes, "Ah, thanks, I didn't think you had time to help me out." So let's go ahead and help him out. It's not too tough. So we need to carry these barrels to the lady in the kitchen. And we can even throw it. So yeah, this is also our introduction to the stamina gauge. You see that green meter by Link that's just slowly decreasing? That's going to be really important throughout the entire game. It's used for carrying heavy objects, not light objects like pots, running, rolling, climbing things, spin attacks, your basic Zelda stuff. And honestly, I really like it. It's one of my favorite additions to this game. And it's coming back in Breath of the Wild, which was actually at the time recording this announced 2 days ago, I think? Today's Thursday. So yes, it was announced 2 days ago. So we're going to go ahead and drop it. What's all this? I thought I told Fledge to carry that. It's probably for the best. A skinny boy probably would have gotten flattened. So we have a ceremony to go do. So yeah, that's pretty much that. We're not going to carry the second barrel because I've carried it before and I've never found special text for it. Maybe I'm just not setting it down in the right spot, I don't know. But I've never been able to get her to say something else for carrying the second barrel to her. But what we can do here, why don't we practice throwing things? What do you think we're doing? We're doing a standard Zelda tradition, breaking up pottery. Don't you know? Is this your first time in a Zelda game? We always do this. See, like that. Enough already! No, not enough. We need to break more pottery. This is Zelda. We can't just leave this fine pottery here to sit and collect dust when we can break it. And she's going to have a word with the headmaster about getting us expelled. Expelled for doing what we do in every single Zelda game. Yeah, you heard that right. So why don't we head outside and meet up with Zelda? No, nothing else to do in here. Could break more pots, but we gotta get going eventually. Well, welcome to the land of Skyloft. Land high above the clouds, where the Hylians reside. I mean, I guess they're Skyloftians? Since Hyrule technically didn't exist. Though I guess they're still a Hylian race. So we run... Okay, I guess I ran past the trigger on accident. Up here. So, we have someone calling us out. And this is our standard Z target to talk to someone from a distance tutorial. It was in Ocarina of Time. I don't know if it was in Majora's Mask. I know it was in Wind Waker. And I'm pretty sure it was in Twilight Princess. So we can Z-target and talk to them, or we can just Z-target to set the camera forward. So we face the direction Link's facing. It's really nice, and it is very useful. And so we should be able to climb those crates if we dash towards them by holding A. So there's another thing the stamina meter is used for. And there's also this bird statue, but we'll cover that in a second. So you can climb up here like this. And we can even use it so when we go near a ledge, we can jump. Or as Horwell here, the name of the guy, also calls it auto-jumping. Yes. Because this isn't Breath of the Wild yet, we can't jump willingly. God forbid you can jump willingly in a Zelda game. Well, they did say Breath of the Wild was going to be a drastically different game. And they're right, you can jump. And Link can go naked, but that's a story for another time. So yes, we have Zelda to go meet, but her father, the headmaster of this academy, Pora, has a pet named Mia. And can you guess where she is? Yep, all the way in the furthest place possible. Well, furthest place at the school, I guess. Not really in Skyloft. There are much worse places in Skyloft that pet could hide. So why don't we go ahead and get the pet back. Again, we don't get anything for this, but it's a nice little introduction to what exactly we use the stamina gauge for. So we can use it to climb vines, we can use it to jump over ledges, and we can use it to run up and grab this ledge. And if you were to swing the Wiimote left or right, you can even just swing across. Use it to run. Of course, and we're going to get stopped here. Yep, I literally just had a failed recording of this where I accidentally left the game volume a little too low, and you couldn't actually hear the game volume. Basically, I muted the game volume on accident because I was doing some tests with audio. But that's a story for another time. So we can push blocks, also using stamina. It will use up stamina, not too much though. And when we do that, we can use it to dash up the box and then up the wall. And so we'll go ahead and grab the cat. And while we're taking this cat back, I do want to say one thing about Skyloft. A lot of people said it's small, and I agree. I feel like Skyloft is very small. Of course, we take it back to him, he thanks us, and says we should go ahead and get going. So I did want to say this, that I do agree that Skyloft is a bit on the small side for what's supposed to be a bit of an overworld area, but I also think that it kind of gives me a tight-knit community vibe, which I really like. So this guy is a speech bubble. This guy straight out of the 80s has a speech bubble over him. Why don't we talk to him? Morning, Link. How's life? Did you manage to get even a wink of sleep last night? Well, I would have guessed so, since you woke up at like, what, noon? Figured you might have been tossing and turning all night, thinking about the big ceremony today. What am I doing? Oh, just fixing this gate here. It's been squeaky lately. We can't have that on the day of the ceremony. And have you also forgotten to send your prayers to the goddess? Just go to the bird statue to save your progress. He literally doesn't even try to hide it. He just literally breaks the fourth wall. Yes. So if the bird statue does, if you go up to it, press A, you can save and quit, or cancel. And it'll have another use coming up pretty soon, but not right now. We'll go over when we cross that bridge. So you're probably wondering what this little thing is. This is a stamina fruit. You want this. You can't hold on to it, so it's just more if you're running and you start to run out of stamina, you can just get to a stamina fruit and refresh it immediately. It always fills it back up, even if you're out of stamina. So, you're probably wondering what happens when you're out of stamina, for those of you not familiar with the game. It's pretty simple, really. You just move really slowly for a little bit while it's refilling. You can grab a stamina fruit to immediately refill it. And with all that said, why don't we go see why Zelda called us up here. I'm gonna go ahead, cut in here really quick and explain. This is a new mechanic at Skyward Sword where we basically just have multiple options for conversations, no effect on the game whatsoever, just changes a bit of dialogue, and I'm not going to go over all of them. So why don't we go ahead and just pick one. With that, now we know what the problem is. Now we need to just go find our Loftwing. Why don't we go tell Instructor Horwell, the same man we talked to about the headmaster's pet, even though we didn't bring it up at all in that conversation, about our missing Loftwing. Grab stamina fruit. And here he is. What do you have to say? So we tell him our Loftwing's missing, it's strange, it's unheard of, and how are we going to make it for the ceremony? It looks like your participation in the ceremony hinges on whether or not you can find that bird on time. It's okay, Horwell. Puns are always fine here, even in the most dire situations. You can never go wrong with a pun. So we'll go ahead and head off. So remember that guy we talked to earlier? The one who said if we ever need help with our bird, we should go talk to him? Well, why don't we go check out and see what he has to say about this situation, since he knows everything about Loftwings. You know, I made this mistake in my failed recording. I really should have entered from the bottom floor, since you can't. It's kinda slow. Alright, here he is. Pippet! You're still not wandering around the academy, are you? What? Your Loftwing won't come when you call for it? Why would a guardian bird not come when it's called? You know I've never heard of this ever happening before, so I can't even tell you what you're doing wrong. Oh, and you said you were the expert on everything when it comes to Loftwings. But a good senior never hangs an underclassman out to dry. We'll figure this out together. Hangs an underclassman out to dry. That is a very odd way of phrasing that. You go to the plaza and ask people there if you know anything. In the meantime, I'll be around here. Well, we always know we can rely on Pippet, an ally of justice, and a hero of Skyloft. Seriously, Pippet's really fun to make fun of. He's very altruistic. I'm not saying altruistic people are fun to make fun of. That sounded horrible. I should rephrase this. So, I should get, blah, blah. Sorry, I cannot speak today. So, I should go ahead and tell you that, one, we're in the Plaza Skyloft 2. Now, second, there isn't going to be that much talking in the first episode because it is very cutscene heavy, just like any RPG, except this isn't an RPG, it's Zelda. And this episode's probably going to be longer than most episodes in the series, just because we do have a lot of dialogue to get through. So, why don't we ask this crowd of outstanding people right here, what's up? So now we know who's probably responsible for Link's missing Loft Wing. If you're actually paying attention in the beginning, when the blue and red Loft Wing are flying, the blue one is obviously Zelda's, and the red one is obviously Link's, as it was stated in an earlier cutscene, that Link is basically the only person with a red Loft Wing. This is just a tutorial on how to roll. So back to what I was saying, in the beginning with the two loft wings flying. If you notice, the red loft, there were 3 people who got on, I cannot speak. They got out, dived under loft, got out. They dived onto their loft wings and chased the red loft wing. If you're paying close attention, that was actually Groose and his 2 companions. So, a little bit of interesting trivia there. And one of those things you usually notice on like a second playthrough. Oh, I thought there was a stamina fruit right here. That's weird. I think there is? Maybe in hero mode? So, why don't we walk around and see what we need to do. See if our ally of justice has found anything. And surely enough, he is here. Want to talk to Pipit. Link, perfect timing. I heard your loftwing has gone missing, so I thought I'd join the search. Yeah, because it wasn't like us who told you. Us. It wasn't Link who told you that his loftwing was missing or anything. No, you just heard. And get this, when I asked Fledge what he knew... Seriously. There's a phone ringing. Hold on a second, I'm gonna cut here. And we're back. Sorry about that. The phone went off. So Fledge started acting funny. And, well, he knows. He knows that Groose hid his loftwing. And really, he hasn't said it yet, but it's pretty obvious. Well, okay, so he didn't see it happen, but he heard them, planning to hide his loftwing. Well, I'm surprised Groose hasn't been expelled yet. They're directly threatening with violence. Though it is heavily implied that Groose has been in trouble many, many times in the past. So we pull out the map, which we can access using the plus button on the Wiimote. He'll go ahead and show us this is where the waterfall is. And as he tells us plus. But of course, and I think he was about to tell us what we were just going to say. Creepy crawly things, yes, very dangerous, but we'll need a sword. So where's the spawn hole? It happens to be right behind him. So this is a map of Skyloft. We can pull up pressing plus. You can just see what's going on here. This is where Link is at the moment. You can see bird statues and names of landmarks. So why don't we go to the spawning hall? And see what Captain Aegis, the head of the sparring hall, has to say. Hey, it's Link. You still want to get some sword practice? I'm impressed. The sword is in the back room. Go on and get it. So, you can go ahead, get the sword, and this will also count as a tutorial for the sword, but you can skip over this tutorial if you want, which I will be doing because I can just explain as we go along. So we got the practice sword. It's a fairly sharp blade, even though it's just a practice sword. I mean, this thing is capable of cutting trees, so like... Oh, sorry, we're supposed to hit 1. Yes. So a button does flash, and this is the gear screen we bring up pressing 1. And it shows you can recalibrate the Wiimote here if you need to. Usually, I've never really had to recalibrate it outside of like 1 or 2 times. In the entirety I've played this game. We have our wallet, our sword, and a bunch of other stuff we'll get as our adventure goes on. And there's a second page, but there's literally nothing there right now. We'll go over it when we actually get something on that page. So we have it all, and we can practice on this. We can practice on these things, but like I said, we don't really need it. Of course, he tries to stop us because he's not just going to let a random person run around Skyloft with a sword. And of course, we'll explain to him that we need to head to the waterfall. Oh, and the whole talking to Fledge is completely optional. So if you don't want to do that and you want to just get straight to the waterfall area, then you don't need to worry about it. So we can practice on the logs if we need to. This is also... So, time to get to one of the unique mechanics of Skyward Sword that make it or break this game for a lot of people. And that is the one-to-one sword play. So, I'm holding my Wiimote up right now, Link is holding his sword up. Oh. Right, we're being interrupted again. So this is the Sheikah Stone. If you played Ocarina of Time 3D, you'll recognize this. And Majora's Mask 3D. It's basically a hint system. We're not really going to care. Oh, we have to walk over. We don't care about this at all. We're never going to make use of it. So we're just going to say it exists. If you're playing this game and you get stuck, this is a hint system that you can use to progress forward. This is the only one in the world, and it's in a very convoluted, not easy to find spot. So you should really, though I believe it is marked on the map. Yep, it's marked on the map. So you can, so if you ever don't remember where it is on your map. So yes, there is one-to-one sword play. I was saying, if I hold Wiimote to the left, his sword goes to the left. Hold it to the right, it goes to the right. If I swing to the left, he swings left. And there, you can even do spin attacks. Just swing both the Wiimote and nunchuck in whatever direction you want to do the spin attack. And you can even do it up or down, like this. And I'll go ahead and wait. Oh, wait. No, okay. I thought we had enough stamina. That's my bad. So yes, we can do different types of spin attacks, slash in different directions. And that's going to be a huge mechanic going to the later portions of this game. There's a bunch of people standing right here. Should be able to... Oh no, we can't. Okay, I guess that area is completely blocked off. I never knew that. So we're just going to go ahead and head over to the waterfall and see what we can do. And like I mentioned before, this video is going to be a bit longer because it is the opening and there is a lot of cutscenes. Before you do, why don't we talk to this old man? Look at this thing. Who knows how long this statue has been here? And it only has one eye. You probably know this, but you can press C to look around. Yep, this statue only has one eye. Pretty interesting, right? Well, I'm sure it's not important. Anyways, let's move on. And so the reason we need the sword to even get in here in the first place is because it's being blocked. And we could read this sign, probably telling us danger. But we're not going to do that. Why would we do that? Why would we ever read a sign? Of course, Link sends his loft wing just beyond there. So, we could read the sign, but no. We're just going to cut it. And we're going to go ahead and cut this. And with that, they disappear so we can enter the cave. So let's go forward. Welcome to the first mini dungeon of the game, not the first actual dungeon. I really thought this should have been the first actual dungeon game. It was pretty cool, and it'd be a great way, because a lot of people complain about Skyward Sword's opening being slow, but this would be a great way. So here we have a green rupee cost. It's worth 1 rupee, and down there is a blue rupee which is worth 5, which I think we actually got earlier, because, yeah. So, like I said, I really thought they should have had the first dungeon in the game here, just so the opening would have been considered so long. So if you run to the right there, you can get this chest, and those hearts, and we get a red rupee. That's really nice. We see these hearts, and, well, they restore hearts if you lose any. It's going to take a bit longer, so we fought 2 types of enemies so far. This is Chuchelli. It takes 1 hit to defeat, not tough at all. And those bats we were fighting at the beginning of the cave, those are called Keese. They take 2 hits to defeat, but we'll be able to defeat them a bit faster later, as this is the weakest sword in the game. You can't even one-shot bats. Usually you can in every other Zelda game. Weird, right? Yeah, I always thought it was weird that you can't actually one-shot Keese with the sword, with the first sword you get in the game. So you have to run up the ledge. If you try to walk up it, you will fail miserably. Just to show... Oh, first we'll get rid of this guy. So yeah, you can't get that far, so you need to run up the ledge. Alright, we'll go ahead and get that rupee while we're at it. So we'll just continue on. There are a few things here and there, so like you can climb up here. What? I didn't grab it. That was weird. I don't know why I wasn't grabbing that. Hearts if you manage to get hurt. There is a bug right there, but we can't do anything about that. Well, we can attack it, actually. Another red rupee. We're getting a lot of money. You can attack this, if I can get close to it. Oh. It went into the water and killed itself. It would rather commit suicide than get slashed by our sword. Wow, that is dark. We have more enemies. This is all the enemies there are in here. And they're not tough. Just swing the sword, take them down. There's no real catch to it. So, just like before, we're going to have to run up here, and we can see the end of the cave. Before that, if you come over here, you can get, I believe that was a red rupee? Also, if you roll into a hole, you will actually get a little bit into it, and you can even use your stamina in the hole to move a little faster. With that, we have reached the end of the Waterfall Cave. Makes me think of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon area. Once we get these last, I think there's one more. Yeah, there's one more. We'll get this guy, and we're gonna call it an episode here. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this. And like I said, this episode, wow, we're getting close. My time is getting close to like 39 minutes. Of course, some of it's going to be cut out. So with that, next time we're going to head into the light and see what exactly happened to our bird. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.